15-30.
Double fault from Pierce, and now again in trouble on her serve. She's clearly been the more vulnerable in this match on serve. Anything Hingis can get her racket on, she's been dealing with in that fashion. Renee Stubbs did not like the call on that serve. Appeared that it hit the line though and skidded.
Ooh, Hingis misses it.
It was Zareva, Cliff, that she won this title with as well. It was Lucic in '98. Hingis won it with Kornikova last year, and Zareva in '97.
Now Mary Pierce, this is a break point for Raymond and Stubbs. Final women's doubles.
Oh, great overhead there. It's not a bad play from Stubbs there. Hingis has been looking to cover the middle. Stubbs tries the lob on break point. Get to see a lot of great rallies in women's doubles. They don't have obviously the power of the men's game. Sometimes men's doubles can get a bit boring on a fast court.
And this is a fast court. Raymond and Stubbs taking out Kornikova and Barbara Schett in the semifinals. Hingis and Pierce took out Davenport and Morario from the USA. Good.
She's got it. Great hustle.
Angle on the overhead from Hingis. There's a lesson to be learned from that. You don't have to hit it hard if you can place it well enough.
We talked about them taking out Davenport and Morario in the semis. Of course, that's a preview of the final, Hingis against Davenport, as we see this replay. But Lindsay pulled out of that match, Cliff, at 5-love down, as we see Hingis looking up into the sun.
Yeah, that wasn't good news with the slight injury that she said happened during her singles match. We're live down under in Melbourne, Australia. It is 2:52 p.m. now, and that's Friday afternoon.
And I spoke, Cliff, with Lindsay Davenport's coach, Robert Vantoff, just about a half hour ago. And obviously asked him how Lindsay was doing, if she, you know, how bad the injury was. And he didn't think it was too bad. He said, you know, he really felt like the match with Capriati is what hurt her, because they had a lot of tough rallies. Oh, again, look at Hingis's hands. Pierce keeps him in that point with some big backhands off the ground. Should have put that one overhead away. Stubbs, this one right here, should have done a better job with this. And watch this pickup from Hingis. Incredible hands.
But as you pointed out, Mary Pierce, not that good a volleyer, so she's serving, and she's the one who found herself in the defensive position there instead of getting in. Anyway, game point at 2-all, third set. Hingis and Pierce hold on. It's 3-2 on serve. They've traded breaks in the third set. Final of the women's doubles from Australia. Pierce are the number 3 seeds here, in spite of the fact that Hingis has won this tournament the last 3 times they've played. Evgeny Kafelnikov up next year in the semifinal.
I am picking him. I think it'll be a good match. I think Norman won't be intimidated. He beat Kafelnikov in Long Island last year, which is just before the U.S. Open, and maybe a little bit slower there, but pretty similar conditions.
And he talks about that. Norman remembers.
Yeah, he does. No, he's got some confidence coming in. Ooh, that hit her in the racket and then caught her in the face there, I believe, Lisa Raymond. That couldn't have felt particularly good. Watch this. She grabs herself there. Dangerous the way Pierce can clock the return. Now watch Hingis work her magic at love 15. Oh. It's like,
she doesn't disappoint you
just
anyway.
a clinic when Hingis is in the doubles court. I mean, In singles, she dominates, but in doubles, it just takes advantage of her strength that much more. Her timing, her feel for the court, her return of serve. You don't have to have as much power in doubles to be effective. You know, the couple of weaknesses that Hingis has, which probably is her second serve and her lack of power, well, they don't hurt her as much on the doubles court because she can play the first serve, get the first serve in.
Use the angles.
Use the angles. It's really fun to watch her dissect her opponents. And it just seems like the women get very intimidated by her return. They give her so many looks at second serves. Here's another one.
First chance I had to see Lisa Raymond was at Landfall in Wilmington, North Carolina, where you have been, Patrick, during the NCAA Singles Championship. In fact, she became the first player to win 3 collegiate Grand Slam titles in a single season, and one of them was right there.
Beautiful place you have down there, Cliff. Is it named after you? 30 all. Oh, that's a good play there.
That's Lisa Raymond with the cross.
Excellent serve out wide. Took a chance by crossing, but she read the Pierce return. Look how much real estate she gives up the line there. But it pays off, and they need to take some chances against the strong return game of Hingis Pierce.
Well, she dominated college tennis, and now she has helped win this game, Lisa Raymond, and it is 3 games all. 1 set all. Raymond and Stubbs got the early break, and then were broken back in this 3rd set. First set going to Raymond and Stubbs before Hingis Pierce came back and won the 2nd. This is live. We are down under in Melbourne. Women's doubles to follow this final, men's singles semi. To answer the question of who will take on Andre Agassi in the final.
There again, you see the good solid serve there from Hingis in the corner, setting up her partner at net. Ooh, good return. Pierce tried to get the call, but they clipped the line. Solid backhand from Renee Stubbs. Didn't look like it caught the line. So 3 all, 15 all, 1 set all in the women's dubs final. Pierce is vulnerable on the doubles court. Those quick exchanges. Renee Stubbs showing her quick hands. Pierce really tried to swing at this volley too much. He should have just bunted it back. It was a sitter. That one was a good one. Here she tries to crack it. Each point crucial now in this final set. It's Robbie Alomar, the great second baseman of now the Cleveland Indians, Mary Pierce's fiance. Seen him out there on the practice court with Mary and Hingis, who, by the way, practice quite a bit together. And Hingis is out there on the practice court even after some of her singles matches, working on her game. I think that's why she enjoys the doubles so much. Gives her.
I agree. The singles don't last too long either.
No. Great points here.
What makes Raymond and Stubbs so good, Patrick?
Well, they're a solid team. I mean, they know how to play doubles. They move well together. Both have pretty quick hands. Again, they don't have the power, which is why they don't have the success in singles.
Now, in women, at least in men's doubles, you know, you've got the Woodies and these guys who are not that successful in singles, and you've got... That goes wide, and there's the breaker serve. We'll continue. I'll ask you that question after this break. It's 4 games to 3 with the break in the 3rd set. Raymond and Stubbs to serve. Let's take a look at this reaction from Renee Stubbs on this return to Hingis' serve, and that one goes wide, and she says, a Grand Slam title at last, possibly 4-3, still some games to go. It is 4 games to 3. Raymond Stubbs leading with the break. Here's Lisa Raymond, USA to serve.
Well, Renee Stubbs has had a great career in doubles, Cliff. She's won 20 titles, but as you mentioned, she's never won a major. And she can feel it here, and of course playing in her own home country in Australia, she's pumped up.
Back to my question, guys, men's doubles. You've got the doubles specialists, right? But Sampras and Agassi and those guys don't play doubles. In the women's, they seem to play for the most part both singles and doubles, and yet still a double specialist team is #1 in women's.
Well, yeah, I mean, Lisa Raymond is pretty good singles player. I mean, she's had some success. Stubbs, I would certainly put in the double specialist category. But let's face it, the top women in singles don't have to work as hard match in and match out as the top men do. And that's why they like to play doubles, get a little more practice.
That's a good lob, and it's called good.
And it's certainly great for the women's game, you know, to have the Hingises, the Sanchez Vicarios, the Pierces, the Kornikovas, the big names out there playing on the doubles tour.
Be good for men's doubles if the Sampras's and Agassi's would play.
Yeah, it'd be great. It's just not going to happen.
No. That goes long, 40-15, game point for 5-3. Final set.
Good serve here from Raymond. Again, good placement. And that's one of the few free points they've won off the Hingis return. Forced her to actually miss one. And they would love to hold this game here because with Pierce coming up to serve, that's where the Stubbs-Raymond team really feel that they can get another break.
Oh, that's a good shot right down the middle. Lisa Raymond protecting against the cross-court dink forehand.
A good low return there, and watch this. She just clocks this one low over the net, and she was looking for that cross court. Really should be covering the middle on that one.
Still game point.
Ooh, another good serve. She had a good look at that volley and maybe just tightened up. Lisa Raymond.
Patrick, you were French Open doubles champ.
Right.
So
You won a couple.
Yeah.
U.S. Open.
Somebody carried me to one anyway.
Well, believe me, I was carried. Oh, and Renee Stubbs, livid.
Called false, second serve.
Stubbs and Raymond reached the semifinals here last year at the Australian Open. You think she's juiced up for this final?
Game point.
Two of them won 5 tournaments together last year, Raymond and Stubbs. She wants it bad. She does.
She called for it, and you could just see Lisa Raymond saying, well, if you're going to do that, leave it for me.
Well, what happens when you want it that bad and you haven't won a Grand Slam title? You start to think about it a little bit. Great hand there. Good lob. Hingis throws up a defensive lob. The smart thing to do. She calls her off and bricks it. Oh, boy. But she makes up for it there. Renee Stubbs knows what tension is like. She's feeling a little bit of it here. And she continues to try to cover that middle, really helping her partner out. That's such a crucial part of doubles. The net person helping the server.
By the way, talking about picking partners out of the stands, let's be fair to Mary Pierce. She won 7 tournaments with 7 different partners last year.
We should be. That's a good point, Cliff, because I'm not giving her a proper respect here.
That is out of reach. And the American-Australian team have won the game. They are 4 points away from, for them, history. A Grand Slam title.
Well, Lisa Raymond's won 2 of them in mixed doubles. Never a women's doubles.
Mary Pierce to serve to stay in the match.
In some ways, I think this is almost a chance where Raymond and Stubbs may have a better chance to break here and to hold in the next game. You know, because they've really worked over Pierce's serve. And she's vulnerable, especially when she has to hit this second serve.
Yeah, see, she doesn't get in behind the serve.
No.
By the way, let's point out that Martina Hingis has not lost a match on this court in 4 years in singles or doubles. So, there's a little bit of trivia for you. This could be it.
Oh, yes, there's that cross-court forehand from Pierce. I guess that's why in the previous point that the Raymond Stubbs teams were looking to cover that one. Beautiful angle. Now that's an interesting play there. She lobbed it, and Pierce was at the baseline, and it worked. Pierce trying to take it out of the air. Now I've seen it all. Lobbing the person who's at the baseline and winning the point. 2 points from their first Grand Slam in doubles, women's doubles. Lisa Raymond and Renee Stubbs. Oh, yes, good move there. Good instincts from Raymond. She waited to the last second till Pierce had committed in her swing. And that's when she crossed.
Now the pressure is on Mary Pierce. Quick correction, 7 titles, doubles with different partners, but not all of them last year.
Now that's in her career, right?
Yes. Second serve, deuce, down 3-5. It's just too tough, Patrick. She stays back on serve. The other two come into the net, and in doubles, I mean, the percentages are just dead solid against you. This is set and match point, championship point, in fact.
Oh, that hurts, dude. That you're literally, Cliff, a millimeter away from your first Grand Slam title. You can see it, and then it hits the net court. Oof, that's painful. Like she looks up to her friends in her box. Tell me it ain't so.
Oh, but talk about a game plan. It's very simple. Chip the return on the serve and get into the net and challenge Mary Pierce to make passing shots. And it's an impossible assignment. Another one. This is the second championship point.
Particularly when they're as solid as they are up at net. You got to give it to old Stubbsy. She's laying it on the line. Look at this. This is a great dive right here. Airtime. That couldn't have felt too good. She's back up again. Let's go for one more. Come on, that's just a grand slam right there. 2 match points saved.
Deuce. Hingis makes the move and crosses to aid her partner, and this is game point now. That's out of reach. I mean, she's lobbed very well, I think. But you know what? You can't go out in the women's doubles and say, I'm going to lob myself my way to victory. And if I'm Martina Hingis, I'm going to say to Mary Pierce, now serve and volley, no matter what.
I don't know about that.
Good serve.
Or hit a big first serve, better yet.
Another big serve. I mean, when you have the server staying back like that and you're in Martina Hingis' shoes, you feel kind of left out of the picture because you're really taken out of the point. So, a couple of championship points squandered, and now a chance for Stubbs and Raymond to serve for the championship. Back live to Melbourne. Live coverage of the women's doubles final, 4 points away. Raymond and Stubbs had been there before, though, and failed. Had a couple of championship points coming up. Magnus Norman, Sweden. Yevgeny Kafelnikov, men's singles, semifinal. That goes long.
I'll tell you, on the changeover, Hingis and Pierce were giggling, having a great time. I think they were out having a little practice run, and Raymond and Stubbs were just super intense. They want this match more than anything. If Hingis is just sort of, well, I'm just getting a little practice before the women's final. But she has that competitive nature herself. She hasn't lost a doubles match here in the last 4 years.
How about that angle on the return? Look at this again.
And they did everything right. Raymond Stubbs looking to cover, but she can be so accurate with that return. 15-all. And the second serve is very short, and Pierce just cranks that forehand up the line, right on the line.
And now it is Hingis to return at 15:30. The pressure squarely on the Australian. Second serve.
Oh, wow, maybe Hingis a little tight. That is unheard of.
He finally missed a return, and the racket is thrown.
Well, that was one of the slowest serves that's been hit.
This crowd give no quarter, boy. She throws a racket there, a little petulant display, and the crowd booing her.
They want Stubbsy to get that first slam. Come on. And we've seen her win enough down here.
Oh, that will sail, and another championship point, this time on the Stubbs serve.
Well, a solid volley there. She kept it very low. Pierce couldn't get under it.
It's a nice reaction, isn't it? It's her first Grand Slam title, and she is enjoying the moment, and let's let her do just that. Congratulations. Peter Bellinger congratulating the winners of the women's doubles. Lisa Raymond, USA. Renee Stubbs, Australia, although Renee living now most of her time in Florida.
Oh, an excellent arm there, too. And you can see Hingis and Pierce also there. I think they're very, very happy. They know that Renee's been out there for a long time. She's played a lot of great doubles. And clearly this is a pinnacle of her career.
Hingis and Pierce, the number 3 seeds, losing in the final. Congratulations to Renee Stubbs, Lisa Raymond. 3 sets. Back in a minute. Very pleasant sight. The first Grand Slam. Congratulations to Renee Stubbs of Australia and Lisa Raymond over Mary Pierce and Martina Hingis for her first Grand Slam title in women's doubles. Next up, it is the men's singles semifinal.